Welcome back to AITL, the podcast with Sophie, aka the mother freaking Odditty.
Welcome to Am I Too Loud, the podcast.
Where in the world is Sophie today? I'm channeling my inner Madeline Argy. She's a British creator, and she usually does her podcast like anywhere. She has this podcast, Pretty Lonesome. On that podcast, I feel like she is literally... She could be in a car. She could be on her bed. She could be anywhere. So your girl is currently... Oh my God. First of all, guys. Okay. Sidebar. I just ate some jollof rice. So I am pretty full. And I'm trying not to have a little tummy situation going on. But welcome back to My To Love, the podcast. I have missed you guys so much. I feel like I have not recorded in about 2 weeks because we had a pre-recorded episode, I think last week or 2 weeks ago. And then before that, I had another episode that I already pre-recorded. So it has been a long time since I've come on camera to say hello to you. So hello. How are we doing, guys? It's not been forever, I would say, but it's definitely been a minute in my head. First of all, I am currently in Canada. Surprise, surprise. I feel like no one can keep track of where I am in the world, but I'm visiting my niece and nephew. If you know me, you know how much I love my family. I love my niece and nephew. They're 3 and 1.5 right now. So they're the most adorable people in the entire world. And I want to make sure I'm there while they're growing. And so I'm going to visit them. I'm going to see them today. I picked them up from daycare. I'm really excited. I'm also staying with my friend. If you guys don't know, if you follow my vlog channel, you know this journey. I typically do like every quarter, essentially, like every 3 months. I like to go to my families in Canada, and then my best friend also, well, she's a sister to me. My sister also lives in Detroit, Michigan. Michigan and Canada have a border in common, essentially. So I literally can drive 20 minutes across the border, go see my family, and drive back to stay with my sister. So it just is perfect. And I love coming out here when I need to just de-stress. And the past week that I have had, I really needed to distress, but not in a bad way. It's just like, you know, when like you're just moving and you're going, that I feel like is what's been happening. So we're going to catch up. I feel like my vlog channel is the best place to catch up with me now at this point. Even Snapchat, I've not been as consistent, but I think it's because when I'm not in like a mental, fun, vibey mood, and I don't want to share on Snapchat, because then I feel like I worry you guys so much, but then when things are okay, I don't then share that things are okay. So I'm trying to figure out how to balance that out, because I am doing well. I've had a few DMs where people are like, Sophie, we're so worried about you. Are you okay? And I'm like, yeah, guys, I am okay. I think I'm just building and growing, and just I'm so consumed with this idea that I need to succeed that I might be forgetting to have fun while I do it. And also, like, I've just lost a lot of friends in the past couple of months, guys. And I used to think that I was a problem, but as I'm far removed now from the influencer industry, I'm like, oh, I am not the problem. People are just a bit crazy now in life. And that's some tea that we'll talk about maybe in another episode, I feel like. But this episode is about Coachella. Coachella. But before we get into Coachella, I want to shout out Ismatou on Our Terms podcast. She is literally the most incredible human in the entire world. She pitched to me, I think last year, which was like, hey, Sophie, I would really love to have you on my podcast. And I was like, oh, we had a dinner and we're just yapping away. And we're just so like-minded. She's a Guinean American. She's Guinea, no Gambian. I keep mixing it up and I feel like a bad friend. Ismatou, if you're watching this, I'm sorry. That I'm not even the same. I hate that I'm even doing this right now. I'm going to keep this in the podcast because people make mistakes. But Ismatou, she was born in America, but I think she's Guinean. Maybe she's not from Guinea. I think she's Guinea. I really could check now, but I feel like I don't really want to. I think she's Guinea. I think she's Guinea. Anyways, so she's from Guinea, but she was born in America, and she has a Muslim background. Her parents are really strict, and she has a pretty similar background to me. So when we're talking at dinner, it just made sense that we wanted to talk about the same thing. And guys, I feel like Am I Too Loud is becoming the like sex, loud, queer, bold podcast. And I didn't intentionally make it so, but I feel like the society that we live in, it feels like the episodes that do well are oftentimes episodes that I'm mostly me talking about, whether it's sex, relationships, queer culture, any of those things. And you guys really enjoy those episodes. And I feel like it's because where we come from, people don't really talk about that. And when they do talk about that, they don't talk about it from an educational or like a direct point of view. It's oftentimes with like, fun lingo to make it not as uncomfortable, but we get uncomfortable over here, which I'm excited about. Anyway, so Ismatou reached out to me. We had dinner and we decided to do On Our Terms and AITL, like the first collab episode, and that's what went live last week. I hope you guys enjoy it. The part 2 is coming out next week. She usually uploads bi-weekly, so I wanted to just go with her schedule. That's why the episode is coming out 2 weeks after the first episode. But on that podcast, it was so cool to see another creator work the way she works. Like, it was just so fun for me. She is very like intentional about her podcast, about giving value. She was also very nervous, and I don't know if I should be calling her out. But let me talk a little bit about it, because that was my first like time I've actually done a collab episode, and I feel like I can feel myself doing more collab episodes in the future. I'm just also very particular about the people I want to talk to, especially around AITL. But with Ismatou, it felt like we gelled in a way that I really liked, and she still sort of, I think being a podcaster is very, 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 very different than being an influencer or a content creator. Even though they're both interchangeable, I only say that in terms of like, if you're a podcaster, I think you're going the lens of like a host or a presenter, or you're an interviewer. You are giving value based on like information you want to share or commentary you want to give on certain topics, versus like influencers or creators or like lifestyle creators, for example, whose lives are content. Does that make sense? And you can be a lifestyle creator and a podcaster. You can be a podcaster and a lifestyle creator. Like, they can both work at the same time. Why I bring that up is because I know Ismatou is coming into the industry as a podcaster. So she has her podcast and she interviews a bunch of creators, epic women, business people, all of that. Now, why I bring this up is because I noticed when me and her were talking about the podcast and the creator economy, she was so flabbergasted about the politics of the influencer economy in a way that I have taken for granted. Am I making sense, guys? I feel like if you know what I'm talking about, you know. And if you don't know, now you know. I just feel like she experienced the creator economy in a way, because me and her have become really cool friends, and I love seeing her insight into the creator economy, especially in America and New York City. Like, meeting other creators, meeting other influencers, and seeing how she sees them versus how I see them. I don't know. Let me shut up, because I feel like I'm trying to give you guys some tea, but I'm not really saying the tea, so I might as well just not say anything at all. So my apologies, guys. I might pack my thoughts in properly and maybe come back and have this conversation. But the point is, that was a really important conversations we had, the sex lives of Black Muslim women. We've had really, 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 really good feedback. I've had a lot of DMs in the podcast episodes. I've had a lot of people talking about it. The comments are really cool. And it's just different. Now, I will say the part 2 is a bit more around dating, relationships, from that perspective. And I like that it wasn't necessarily just an episode for only Black Muslim women, but anyone who can listen to it would listen to it. But I also think it's really cool that we aren't the typical Muslim women who are talking. So I saw a comment where someone was like, oh, like, you guys are definitely not practicing Muslim, so it's not fair that you're the ones having this conversation. And I like to say this, guys, I don't feel like this should be something I have to say to prove my faith, right? Because I'm not necessarily proving my faith. I will say I was a fully practicing Muslim. I mean, hijab, I read the Quran back and forth for Ramadan, for sports. Like, me and my uncle used to race who can finish the Quran in Ramadan. I used to fast. I used to teach people about the Quran. I was very much entrenched in reading the Quran and understanding the Quran and understanding Islam. I love Islam as a religion. I don't enjoy organized religion, and that is why I have shifted away from calling myself a Muslim. But the whole point of the episode was to talk about what I was taught as a Black Muslim woman, especially as a Black woman in general, about sex, about relationships, and even being an African woman and talking about FGM, female genital mutilation. I don't know if you guys know this, but this is a practice that still happens. And I think because I'm Nigerian, it's not a common practice in Nigeria. So I think maybe I oftentimes feel very far removed from it. It's not a common practice in America, of course, too. But it's a pretty common practice in Guinea, in Gambia, and a lot of other Western African countries, Eastern African countries too. So it was also important to have that in that conversation. And guys, being a woman, I'm telling you, we still have so much work to do about bodily autonomy, about self-love, about choice, about love, about we still have so much work to do. And It's 2026. Every time I'm researching the podcast and the things I want to talk about, I think a part of me still gets so frustrated because there is still so much work to do. And even when I do say certain things, the comments I get from men, from women, they, thems, he, she's, her, ZZ, it's like, and some of those are oftentimes comments where they're confused about my take, or they feel like my take is so jarring and so different. I don't even know where I'm going with that, guys. I'm realizing there's so much work to do to unlearn a lot of things, and we tend to lean on tradition and religion and culture, and it's always happened, so why is this supposed to change? I was watching an episode, we're gonna get into Coachella, I promise. I was scrolling on TikTok, which I have been doing really badly about, like, doom scrolling, but I was watching a TikTok the other day, and it was this episode where it's 3 black men, and I can't remember the name, but it's not a sports episode, but it's like the black guy is like the smart one of the group, and the rest are like, I wouldn't say they're dumb, they're just like typical toxic men. And I only say toxic men because you can tell their conversations are mostly around toxic masculinity. But in that video, one of them was talking about how he and his wife hyphenate their name, and the 2 other men were like, why would you hyphenate your name? What is that? Like, you're not, like, you're gonna lose your genetics or your hereditary something. And the black guy, who I think is the smart one, essentially was like, well, what about her? And the men were like, well, it's what has always been done, like, here you go with your traditional values. And then he made a comment where he said, give me an example of where in a developed country this is the norm. Because the black guy, who was a smart guy, was like, well, in African villages and in African contexts, we oftentimes are in a matriarchal society, so usually the surname of the family is matriarchal. The guy was like, don't bring up this African stuff, give me something where it's a developed country. And when he said that, I swear I saw red for a bit, because do you understand how much unlearning you have to unlearn with regards to what you've been taught as a black person in the world? Because if we're even thinking about genetics and biology, the woman is the one that births the child. So if she is the one that birthed the child, why wouldn't she be the one to keep the lineage of said child? Why wouldn't it be her surname? It just makes logical sense. That's why when African cultures celebrate the woman, is because she is the beginning of life, versus when Western society and Western civilization came around and they decided, you know what, of course we want patriarchy. We don't want women to be in charge. Let's make sure the men have the surnames. Let's make sure the men are the ones in charge. And that's when the shift happened. Our societies were the most advanced ones from the get-go. Oh, I sound like one of those hoteps, don't I? Oh gosh, I can't wait. I don't know if I'm going to be 30 next year, so maybe not 30, but like, I don't know if I'm going to be 35, 40, and these conversations would just seem like crazy, because it will be the norm for women to just be the status quo. And I don't even know if that's possible in a world where women are still second-class citizens. And I hate it. I hate it so much. It just pisses me the fudge off. Okay, rant over about all of those things. I don't even know where I was going with that. Anyways, guys, let's talk about Coachella. Okay, first thing, I have my iPad here, by the way. That's why I'm like looking off to the side. Okay. It's Coachella season, right, guys? And there's so much to discuss. But first, let's raise our hands if we don't know what Coachella is. Do we? Who knows? Okay, so if you don't know, Coachella is... It's a weekend festival. I'll say it's like a 2-weekend festival. It happens in America, like in Indio, California, which is around Palm Springs, which is around Los Angeles, which is in California. California is what I like to call it. It's a 2-weekend festival, meaning weekend 1 and weekend 2, the same show happens the first weekend and the second weekend. So that's why if you ever hear about Coachella, they talk about weekend 1 and weekend 2. Everybody goes to weekend 1, and then weekend 2, I think, is for the actual music lovers. That's my hot take. This year, it's happening April 10 to 12 and April 17 and 19. And this year's lineup was epic. I mean, you have Karol G, Justin Bieber, Davido was on the stage. You had Disclosure, Sabrina Carpenter, Cat's Eye, and so on. Oh, by the way, I have never listened to, unless I feel like I am the minority and I maybe don't know a song, I don't know any Cat's Eye music. I don't know the lore with Cat's Eye. I don't know the lore with Sabrina Carpenter. It's just, I'm just, maybe it's, I don't know if it's, I don't think it's age, right? Because I know a lot of people who love them. And I think my issue with me is with music specifically, I have specific taste, and I'm not a big let me try new music, which is bad. I really should try to open up. But there's so much drama I know about Cat's Eye and Manon, the black girl. And apparently Cat's Eye was an actual show that stopped being a show, or like finished the show and then they found the group like One Direction. I loved One Direction. I just don't know what Cat's Eye is. But Cat's Eye was also a headliner. Anyways, maybe I will listen to their music after this podcast to see if I like it. Do you guys think I'm going to like Cat's Eye? Let me know in the comments. Okay, so that's what Coachella is. And why am I not at Coachella? Because if you don't know, my name is Sophie, aka the Odditty. I have a TikTok, social media, Instagram influencer, over almost 2 million followers across the board, blah 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 blah. I love you guys so much, by the way. Thank you for that. Oh, sidebar, guys, do you know we just celebrated 500k on TikTok and then I lost 300,000? Okay, that's dramatic. Not 300,000, 3,000. I think it's 3,000. Yeah, I don't know math, guys. Oh shit, do I need to poop? Oh, that's not good. Oh my god. I'm gonna keep rolling. I will never apologize for going to shit. I'm so sorry, guys. I have this thing. Where was I? Okay, we'll talk about that in a bit. But I have this thing where once I eat, I poop, and it's not irritable bowel syndrome. I don't think it's IBS, because it's not like diarrhea. It's more like I just, if people ever wondered why I'm so like tiny, it's because I eat and I shit it out, guys. Like I told you guys, case in point, did I not start this podcast episode saying, oh my God, I just finished eating some jollof rice and look at me. In the matter of like the 20 minutes that we were on this call, well, it's not a call, it's a podcast episode, so you get the point. I went to shit. And that was good. I feel so much better. I feel so much lighter. So if you ever wondered what it is, I just shit everything out. And I feel very much lighter. And like that poop was like I couldn't wait. Like as I thought I needed to fart. This is TMI, isn't it? My apologies. Let's move on. Okay, so Coachella. Why am I, Sophie, aka the Oddity, not at Coachella? So I've been to Coachella twice. And first time I went to Coachella was with Victoria's Secret Pink. I think that was in 2023, maybe 2023. And it was such a fun experience because I'd heard about Coachella. It's the Influencer Olympics, which we'll get to in a second. And I went with this brand who was like iconic, Victoria's Secret Pink, huge name. And it was so fun, except it was also not really. So Coachella has different tickets, right? Just let me give you some tea. So Coachella has general admission, which is like normal prices, VIP, artist guest pass, and then I feel like artists have their own pass separately, and then like maybe some other pass that I don't even know about. And with Coachella as well, you have like camping options because it really is in the middle of the desert. Like they built Coachella Valley for Coachella, for this festival that only happens once a year. And what is even crazier is, you guys, I don't know how many miles Coachella is, but I'm telling you, you can walk 40 minutes to get to a stage. Like, I'm not exaggerating. You can literally walk 40 minutes to get to a stage and you're still in the festival. That is how big it is. I think maybe 100,000 plus people go to Coachella every year. I'm not joking. It has to be more than 100,000. It is huge. So my first year going, this is me, young immigrant. I'm living my dreams. I just moved to New York. I got this opportunity with Victoria's Secret Pink. I'm living my best life. We get VIP passes. Now, here's something I've actually not spoken about that I'm going to do some tea on. So when I went to Coachella my first time, I went with this brand and we had VIP passes. Now, at that point, I did not know what the difference was between VIP and artist, but I remember we were all in a compound. So usually for brands, they either get you an Airbnb or they rent out like a hotel. They rent out like large Airbnbs or houses because, again, Coachella Valley is like, I like to say maybe just people have like holiday destination homes that they just rent out around this season. So for that brand, they rented out the whole hotel. So we had this hotel and then we had shuttles that took us to the festival. What I realized midway through this entire trip was that some of us had VIP bands and other people had what they call artist guest pass. So VIP gets you into the VIP section of the festival, which is great. You get VIP toilets, you get VIP everything. But think about it. If this is a festival where there's 100,000 people, I would say like 50,000 people have general admission. Then maybe there's like 35,000 VIP or 40,000, then 10,000 artist guest pass. That's kind of like the math I would say. So VIP, you get, you know, these tickets, but then artist guests get like shuttle options. They get golf cart access because, again, I told you guys this festival is large. So my first time with this brand going, we get a separate shuttle. One shuttle is for people with VIP bands, and the other shuttle is for people with artist guest pass bands. And I still didn't know what this festival was. I didn't know what the difference was. I remember that the shuttle I was supposed to go on that day, it was full, and so I was like, oh, I'm just going to this shuttle. And they're like, no, girl, come here. Inside this shuttle instead. I sat on water bottles because there was not enough seats, but I couldn't go into the artist guest bus shuttle because we're going to different places, which was unfortunate when I think about it now. But I also remember that like it kind of sort of felt like the minorities were in the VIP part of the shit thingamajig. So basically it was like me, a plus size influencer, a Hispanic creator, the 2 gay people on the trip. Like it was mostly like, yeah, the POCs, the minorities. The minorities were in the VIP section. And I will say, I don't think follower count mattered because on the other bus, the ones with the artist gets passed, there were folks who had lower followers, but because they, you know, well, yeah, you know what I'm trying to say. Anyway, so it was fun still. I remember like they snuck me in for one part of the artist section because with Coachella, you have general admission and then VIP has like a separate like entrance, but where there's space for you to watch the show. And then you have like another extra like closer to the stage area for artist guests. Anyway, so yeah, so that's pretty much my first time doing that. I remember like when I left that trip, I was like, okay, I had fun at Coachella, but one of my biggest takeaways was it was a lot going on. If you're not someone who drinks a lot, smokes a lot, does a lot of drugs or something, and you're not into the music, it's a lot of walking, it's a lot of content from the brands, it's a lot of work, and it's not easy, and it is hot as Satan's balls out in the desert. It is so hot, it is so dusty, and then at night it gets so cold and there's no food available. It felt like, I swear this sounds like first world problems, but it really was a lot. I'm not even gonna lie to y'all, it was a bit much. But I remember leaving and going, I've experienced it. The next time I'm going to experience it is if I have an artist guest pass. So that means I can actually see maybe backstage and everything. The next year, your girl was invited to Coachella, now with Tarte Cosmetics. Shout out to Tarte. They always take care of me. And I got my artist guest pass. This was, I think, one of my favorite times at Coachella. I went with my friend Cachet. She was a part of Love Island. Yeah, I think Cachet was on Love Island. I don't know, I was going to say Big Brother. But it was so fun. And this one, again, we had the shuttle access. And then with the artists, we were backstage. So I remember I saw Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift. I saw Justin Bieber, I think, was there at the same time I went. I saw Hailey Bieber too around then. Jaden Smith was there too. Like, we literally could see the trailers of the artists. And I went also with YouTube. So I had access to like the YouTube lounge backstage. This was like lit. This was legit. Again, though, it's like hot. It's like to walk into the festival, even if you have the artist pass, is still like a 15-minute walk. And then you're dusty, you're hot. And then if you're going with a brand who has a lot of deliverables for you, you're posting 4 or 5 times a day, you're trying to edit, you're trying to eat, you're getting drunk. And I'm not complaining, but if you're not someone who's into any of these things, then hey, just know this and know peace. Now, why am I not there this year? Because I experienced Coachella VIP. I experienced Coachella Artist Pass. I didn't need to experience Coachella again, especially if I wasn't like a big fan of like whoever was headlining. Now, I love Justin Bieber like the next girl. Like, baby, you're gonna Yukon, hey, Yukon, hey. I love Justin. I don't think I was going to want to go through the entire experience of Coachella for Justin. I did get a few invites for brands, but again, the takeaway was oftentimes we'll give you like, you know, tickets. You have to find your accommodation, or they give you accommodation and they want to give you VIP. Or, oh my God, I sound so annoying, like an influencer, but it just didn't make sense. And the ones that were going to pay, I just felt like, well, guys, I didn't want to go. I feel like, you know, there's some things that you just know are not for you. Like, I know I was going to have a good time, but at what cost? Because I've been there, done that. I think maybe the next festival I would want to go to would be like Lollapalooza or Stagecoach to experience something different. But other than that, like, I really wasn't like that pressed. And then I will say that with regards to being an influencer, I feel like if I wanted to go, it would be for the content, not for the artist or the festival itself, like just getting the revenue from the content you be posting. And then here's the kicker. I can say that, but then usually with Coachella, like the black girls oftentimes get the short end of the stick anyways, because as a black creator, you're not pushed to the main feed anyways. Like you could try your best, unless you're a pretty established creator, like it doesn't really matter. Every time I've gone in the past, like it just didn't add up to like something that gave me a good ROI, so my return on investment. So yeah. So yes, that's why I didn't go to Coachella this year. It was fun. I saw my girl Abba was there. Marvella went. Okay. I can't think of anybody else. I know my friends went though. I know they had a good time. What else happened at Coachella this year? Oh, we should talk about some tea that happened. With like influencers, because a lot of people keep talking about like Honestly, can we talk about this real quick? I am so tired of people complaining about influencers being at events. I don't know if you're going to like what I'm about to say, but I'm going to say it anyways. Am I too loud if I say that's the whole point of an influencer's job? They're marketing tools. Like, we are marketing tools. Before, if Coachella wanted to do ads, they would do ads where they would pay models maybe to be at the festival, and then they show that on like billboards, social media, everything. And that's how they get the marketing across. Nowadays, influencers are the market. Like, we are the ones that need to be at places for things to be seen. The only reason we know about Coachella, artist pass, guest pass, drama behind the scenes, all this stuff, because we're watching the influencers do it. And maybe behind them you see Of Cosmetics, or you see NYX, or you see any of all these other things. The whole point of influencers, I think we forget it, because I think we then get used to influencers as people, that we would forget that they're actually businesses too. Like, there's a creator I watch, Reagan777, and she always like live streams Coachella, and there's so many facets of Coachella that I didn't even realize were a thing until her content. That to me is why I feel like it's so important to have creators there. There's also this thing called the Masters. Till today, I did not even know that the Masters was a thing. And it's like a golf tournament. Call me, I don't know what you would call me, like someone who's not in that space. I'm really not in that space. But I've never heard of the Masters. I just found out about the Masters because one of my creator friends was getting dragged for the outfit she wore to the Masters, and I went to Google the Masters, and I'm like, oh, the Masters sound like a cool thing. Now I know about the Masters because of this, because an influencer went there. Yes, she was dragged, even though she looked amazing, but now I know what the Masters is. That's marketing. And now people could be like, well, not every brand needs marketing. Yes, they do. We're in the era of social media. We're in the era of AI. We're in the era of everything. People need creators. Like, that's the whole point. You can't get upset when you yourself want to be a fucking creator. Sorry, I'm cursing. I don't care. Like, I don't understand this idea of influencers are ruining things. They destroying everything. Okay, give you an example. I didn't realize that people car camped at Coachella. Did you know that was a thing? I just thought, because as a creator, I just go with a brand, they put me a shuttle. There are people who car camp at Coachella. And these are normal people who decide to just vlog their experience. And then maybe now their lives are changed because next year a brand could take them. Now they just went from car camping to freaking going with a brand and experiencing something different. But also now I know about car camping. I know about safari camping. I know about a different lens to Coachella that I hadn't before, because people are documenting. You learn about the world because people are documenting everything they're going through. So why we get it in our heads that, oh my God, I hate that influencers are at the Grammys, or at the Golden Globes, or at Coachella. Where should they be? In their homes? It's their job. It's our jobs. It's literally our jobs to be at these places, to show you guys the world. These places usually did not even have acts like... I think people oftentimes forget to, let's talk about this, because we're going to talk about some drama around Coachella. I think one of the first things is BRAN FLAKES and STARBUCKS drama. Okay, I have a hot take. Am I too loud if I say a lot of you enjoy performative activism? A lot of you enjoy performative activism. And I honestly feel like this is why the Democratic Party oftentimes loses. This is why the left loses, because of this idea of do-goodism. Let me just coin that. Do-goodism, right? Where you want someone so perfect that you forget sometimes the reality of situations. Now, I don't know BRAN FLAKES' story. What I do know is, let me explain it this way. Okay, STARBUCKS reached out to me through an agency to work with them. I remember calling up a friend and being like, oh my God, I only drink Starbucks with matcha, but I really want to work. I have this weird thing where I want to partner with brands that have green logos because my favorite color is green. And I think that would be cool for like a collage, something at the end of the year. I don't know, content idea. So when they reached out, I was like, oh my God, one of the green brands that I want to work with. But then I was like, okay, I need to see the background on Starbucks because I've heard they're like, you know, they support Israel, they support the genocide, they do all these things. And I did my research, and then they were like, they did not speak, and there's some people who are boycotted. Now, while I was doing my research on Starbucks, I realized Google was also part of it. I realized Apple was also a part of it. I realized Amazon was also part of it. I realized Target. I realized every single brand, honestly, besides Ben & Jerry's, every single brand, even Sephora, every single brand out there in some capacity has some connection to something that is either been boycotted, has some red flags, all of that. Now, I am not saying because of that we need to willy-nilly support these brands or anything. What I am saying is if you have creators like Bran who are vocal about voting and voting rights and women's rights and all these things, and he gets the bag as someone who's also not a rich creator, I really think you guys are really interested in performative activism, because I know buku people who, even though they're saying, oh my God, I'm not going to drink Starbucks, still go shop at Starbucks. They'll put their shades on. Sometimes they don't even put their shades on. They just go do it. Or Target or any of these places. And we forget that not all influencers are rich. We forget that not all influencers have the luxury of boycotting. And you know what's crazy? I didn't realize this until recently. When I saw a lot of discourse on influencers being in certain places, there's a creator who was going to Revolve Fest, and Revolve Fest, a festival that happens alongside Coachella around the same time. Just because Coachella is there, a lot of influencers are there, they give out goodies. And a lot of people were like, oh my God, this is so selfish. This is crazy. Why is Revolve giving out all these products to all these rich influencers? And I was looking at them like, I think people forget that some influencers don't make money. Like, not every influencer is rich. I don't know if this is a hot take or not. Not every influencer is rich. Not every influencer is rich. There's some people who are just starting out, whose first invite ever to even be around Coachella is Revolve Fest. And them being able to get their hands on some of these brands will help them make content for them to get to where they want to be. We're so used to seeing the Alex Earls of the world who have had money come up, and we're like, well, every influencer is like that. No. A lot of POC creators are not born with a silver spoon. A lot of even white creators, honestly, are not born with a silver spoon. We've seen them grow. We've heard Monet McMichael talk about her upbringing and where she is now. It's crazy to me that she wouldn't be in a place where she should get free products, and people are like, oh, that's so selfish. Now she has money. What if now she doesn't? What if she's feeding her entire family? And we all are. Because now you can also pick up your camera and also start recording content. Maybe we're forgetting the humanity in a lot of things now. Maybe we're forgetting what it means to be human, to be kind to one another, to understand privilege, but also understand that opportunity exists for people and they're grabbing it. Because for me, if I see a creator who started from nothing is finally at something, I still don't understand why I would feel upset at them for winning. I just don't understand that take. Anyways, so with Bran, he was getting dragged because he worked with Starbucks, and people were talking about how him, Victoria Paris, and other creators were working with Starbucks, and Starbucks is terrible. And I was like, and then he responded with a video where he said, yo, no, I've never clowned or said I was boycotting Starbucks, blah, blah, blah. They offered me a lot of money. I took it. And I'm looking, I'm like, honestly, when Starbucks reached out, I was really scared, but I was like, I'm not going to lie to you guys. But I was going to work for them. And it's not a matter of, oh, I don't have humanity. What if, you know what? I just think about it this way. Okay. If they don't give me the money, they're giving someone that money. The money's there. I don't know if this is a bad way to think, but the money's there. And for someone who needs the money, it feels hella performative for me to not take that money because it's a bad look for people who actually are not doing anything about it. Because what if I did take that brand deal, and then if they offered me $50,000, I sent $25,000 to help organizations, or I can add that to my voice and then keep talking about the things that matter to me, because I think people also forget that can also happen. It's weird that we've become very myopic in our thinking of support and help and activism in a way that's very interesting. But yeah, that was interesting. Justin Bieber also performed at Coachella this year, and a lot of people are talking about Justin's performance as boring, honestly, because I was awake for his performance, and when I opened it, I was like, oh, this is chill. And I started seeing the live, because I was on YouTube watching it. I saw the live comments, people saying, we want more, we want your old songs, da 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 da. it really is not easy to be an artist, is it? It is not easy being an artist because people can be so selfish and so self-centered and so wicked. It's just not easy being an artist in this climate because imagine a young man. Justin was so young when he started music, and I've never thought of Justin Bieber, unless I'm mistaken, as like a really bright, loud Usher style creator. Like I've never thought of him that way. In fact, every performance I have ever seen of Justin Bieber has been intimate. Like he's often by himself on stage. He's not dancing around, moving around, unless I'm just seeing the wrong things. I've never actually seen him be this loud, bold, Beyonce-esque performer. Another example of that would be like an Adele. I don't see Adele as a person who, maybe she would have fireworks, maybe she would have an outfit change or two, but for the most part, it's usually Adele's voice that carries. And for Coachella too, it really made sense that it would be Justin's voice that would carry. And also, artistic choice is a thing, and it doesn't really matter how you think of someone's ability to perform when they're showing you what their heart truly wants. Like we've heard about the issues he's had with his masters and his music. We've heard about how he just really wants to connect back to his voice and his art. And for people to just not understand that and being like, we can also say that the performance was boring. No, he was talented as fudge. And plus, apparently he couldn't even play his actual songs because his other label owns it or something like that. So the only way for him to like get through that window was to play it on video. So anyways, I thought his performance was A+. I thought it was fantastic. I really, really enjoyed watching Justin Bieber, actually. I don't think I would have wanted to be there in person, though. I'm not going to lie to you. Again, I'm telling you guys, like, unless you're, like, a Bieber fan, a Karol G fan or Sabrina Carpenter, like, I couldn't do it. On that note, we're talking about performance. Davido. Here's the thing. I'm a Nigerian girl. It's Davido. I know it's Davido. I know. Do you guys remember that, like, very uncomfortable video interview where this girl was like, oh my god, like, isn't it annoying? She was talking to Davido. She was like, isn't it annoying when people say your name wrong and they always like Davido? And he was like, you know it's Davido. I was like, hey, good girl, why would you it was so embarrassing. But Davido is Davido David O performed at Coachella, and I saw a lot of comments of people being like, oh, he wasn't really a headliner, he wasn't blah blah blah, like he wasn't a small stage, it wasn't a bit. Coachella has about 4 or 5 stages. The Gobi stage, Sahara stage. Okay, I don't know the rest. Gobi, Sahara, main stage, and like I think there are 2 more, and then there are underground compartments. To perform at any stage at a festival as big as Coachella is huge, especially for an Afrobeats artist. To see the crowd they're celebrating in, oh, people just go, oh, hey God, you just sit behind your keyboard and type. That's what people do. They just sit behind a keyboard and type, and they have I think it's fun now. Like this idea of critique in a way that is, Marvella posted on a Snapchat today. Marvella is a creator who I absolutely adore. Where she talked about like people just being so excited to critique people now. Like the fastest way to get their opinion across is to say something negative. And we oftentimes forget that negativity isn't the right way. It's not the right path. It's not the right move. It's so frustrating and irritating. Go put in your group chat, record a video and delete it. If you want to talk so negatively about someone, do that there. Like I am so over social media being this cesspool of negativity in a way that is so disappointing. And now that I realize it, I just enjoy when social media is like a light, like, and it just shows the real core of humanity. And yes, I'm calling people out. Like it shows the core of humanity and how rotten we've become when every time we see something, we immediately want to think about the negative because that gets our fingers happy. Oh, let me see what people are saying about Justin Bieber. Let's see what are things they're saying about influencers. You are dirty. You are wicked. You're mean. You're mean and you're not nice. You're not nice. Where is niceness anymore? Fake it till you fucking make it. Like, what the heck? Bring back nice. Honestly, bring back fake nice. I don't even care at this point. Let me know you're pretending and lying to me. At least let me have the false sense of love and affection from you, because I am over people just being mean for no freaking reason. It's absurd, okay? Anyways, Davido performed. It was really great. He performed Nakupenda, Sigobe. It was so fun to see an Afrobeats artist again on that stage. I feel like the last performance I saw was Burna Boy. I will say Burna Boy was on the main stage at Coachella when he performed, but that crowd was so small because main stage was really big. And I think there was another artist that was there because Coachella is still like maybe 80% white. we forget that Coachella is an American festival. Like, yo, Black people are only 12% of this country. Maybe even 12% at this point, because we're mixing up. All of us are mixing up. So it makes no sense for you to want him to be on the main stage. Yes, if Fall, Nakapana, they're all big music, but let him go to South Africa, see if he's not on the biggest stage there is. Like, we need to invest in our own things, don't we? I don't even know where we would start from. I wish we had, like, I know we had Afrochella, but even then, like, it became Afrofuture. But even then, our artists don't respect our things more. Let me not get into that conversation because we will be here all day. Okay, so that's that. And then we talked a little bit about activations like Revolve Fest, Campouche. If you guys don't know any of these things, these are like events around Coachella that you can go to because all the influencers are there. And a lot of people are saying like, oh, this is so selfish. Oh, it feels like a crazy thing to be sitting here talking about Campouche and Road and Revolve Fest and Coachella when the world is burning at the same time. I just like had that thought. Like as I was sitting here, I was just like, it seems so privileged. It seems so privileged. I can't do anything about it except do my best to be a part of some good in the world. But this is a moment of reflection for me that this feels very privileged. But at the same time, your existence is a form of resistance. The shit I'm going through, I can't even begin to tell you. And I know people who are going through very, very, just every human around the world, I think, except for Elon Musk, is going through some shit. Yeah, all random. Well, not random because I have it in my notes, but Olandria and Nick. First of all, I'm a NICOLANDRIA stan. I did not realize how toxic the Love Island fandom has become. I told you guys about being friends with Cache, good friend of mine. And I really don't watch Love Island. So maybe you're not going to listen to me because of that. But I do watch, I'm an avid TikTok Love Island watcher, meaning I see the recaps on TikTok. It's the same thing. I get the gist of it. And I remember my first ever time watching Love Island closely was on TikTok for Serena's season. Chef's kiss, by the way. The fandom now is at a level of absurdity that I have never seen before. If you are on Twitter, X, guys, grown women, grown men, grown people, grown anyone, the things they say about these people, these are human beings, for Christ's sake. What are we talking about? So Olandria was at Coachella this weekend. Looked fantastic. She killed it. Like, she launched like a Barbie campaign. Nick was there too. First of all, people were talking about how they must have broken up because they're not together. But now, after I saw them on day 3, I was like, it makes sense that they're not going to constantly be together, because every time they're together, they make it about them, not about their individual work ethics, which I think is really smart. But then I saw a lot of conversations because Shelly and a few other Love Islanders were at the Tarte mansion, is what I like to call it, because Tarte always invites people, and Tarte invited reality stars this year. And the comparison of this person versus that person and this person versus that person. You know what I wish most in the world is if everyone like was able to show their ass and have it recorded. And what I mean by that is I feel like social media makes it in a way where people think they're good when they're not. I can't imagine a world where me falling in love with someone on a reality show means I will get hate for the rest of my fucking life. And the things you guys say about these people, I don't get it. Mind you, the girl did not kill anybody. Shelly didn't kill anybody. Who else? Clark didn't kill anyone. Taylor didn't kill anyone. And mind you, it's always the women who are going, like, I'm scared for people who go into these seasons because of these reality shows. That's why I can't do reality TV. I can't do like dating reality shows, because I feel like that brings out a different side to people. Honestly, any reality TV show, because the moment you give people access to your life in that way, their ability to give stupid opinions about you is just doubled. And parasocial relationships are on a different level than they've ever been before. I don't know how to explain it, guys. It's scary. I need you guys to understand that you do not know any of these people. We don't know each other. You're watching me right now, and honestly, I feel like I give you guys a pretty good access into my life. Like, I say things as it is. I am pretty open in my vlog channel. Let me tell you this tea. So I was just, we gotta talk about Children of Blood and Bone. I was just in LA. I promise we'll get back to Olandria and Nick maybe. But I was just in LA because I got invited to see the movie Children of Blood and Bone. The Children of Blood and Bone is a series that is going to be coming out January 2027. It was written by Tomi Adeyemi, a Nigerian American author. And then Gina is the director for this, and she's so incredible. I was invited to see a private screening of the movie in Los Angeles last week. You are not ready for how good this movie is about to be. I am telling you, it is Wakanda Woman King Sinners level great in terms of the VFX, the storytelling, the fun, the difference in the story being told. I like to say it's like a black Hogwarts, like a black Harry Potter-esque vibe. And there is already so much drama around the movie with Nigerians talking about how, you know, the wordings aren't right, or the pronunciations, or the actors not being Nigerian and the actors being non-Nigerian and stuff. Let me tell you this. It is a fantasy for a fucking reason. It's a fantasy. It is not real. In fact, if she wanted to speak fake Yoruba, she could, because she's making shit up. Yes, there's some words that have background meanings, and there's some words that, but the whole point of a fantasy is a fantasy. It's the same way. Oh, let's talk about ADHD. Harry Potter series is coming out. Random again too, guys. So Harry Potter is launching a series, I think, on HBO, and they're going to be a new sets of Harry Potter kids. And so many people were talking about how Severus Snape is a black man and tells a different story. Harry Potter is not real. In fact, if Harry Potter wants to become Harry Potteress, Harriet Potter, it doesn't matter, because it's not real. You can take a story and change the characters, because the people that are watching it now are not the people who watched the first one. You can protect your Harry Potter. It is okay for your Harry Potter to be the Daniel Radcliffe that we know, and for 2026 Harry Potter to be Harriet Potter. That's fine, because it's a fantasy. It's not rooted in reality. That's why it's okay that Little Mermaid was a white person 20, 50 years ago, and now it's Halle Bailey. It's okay. It's fantasy. It is not rooted in reality. And if it is, you can always change reality. I'm sorry. I'm ever going to be upset right there, because I hate when I see this discourse of, oh, it changes the story. Let it change the story. Let it change the story. Now you have another story. In fact, now you have a better story in most cases. It's okay. That's okay to happen. Why are we so stuck on the past? That's why you guys are so rooted in change. People need to fucking masturbate more. Maybe that's what it is. People are uptight. I don't know. Something needs to give. Anyways, the Harry Potter thing, I feel like when I saw the discourse, I just did not engage with it, because it makes no sense to me. Harry Potter can be whoever. They can cast whoever. Also, a mutual of mine on TikTok talked about how with Harry Potter, not supporting Harry Potter because J.K. Rowling is a transphobic human being. And I have a hot take / a question, and I would love to hear your thoughts on it. If I clip this on TikTok or Instagram, and I'm talking directly to you guys as well. What do we do about J.K. Rowling without affecting other people? What I mean by that is, I know people talk about not supporting Harry Potter because of J.K. Rowling, but because of one person's views, people go hungry, people lose their jobs, because I know the series is coming out and people are talking about how we need to boycott the series because J.K. Rowling is terrible. But I'm like, these are young kids who are getting the first star as actors. Is it their fault they were casted in the story with this transphobe? Is it the production crew that worked on it, the camera crew, the directors, the producers? Maybe they're all good people and this story is just something that's going to make people a lot of money. How do we control having people pay, I guess, for their views? Because I don't understand if that's, I don't know if that's the best route to take, boycotting something like this, because first of all, it never works, and also there's just too much damage around it for it to make any sense to me anyways. I think it's different if, like, say, I don't know. I really don't know. I don't even know what the difference would be, but I'm really curious about it, because I have to, like, I want to support the cast, the crew, the people who are a part of it. It's the same way with, like, people talk about Sam Levinson with Euphoria and being a weirdo, but the people who are still actively working on the movie whose livelihoods depend on it. So do they lose their jobs because of one person's problems? I don't know. Anyways, so Children of Blood and Bone is so good. It reminds me of Black Hogwarts essentially, but on its own. I got to see the preview and some behind the scenes of the set. It was filmed in Cape Town. It just looked so flipping good. I'm so excited. I've read the books, all 3 of them. Hated book 3. Love You Told Me, but book 3 pisses me off till today. But I hear some insider scoop. They're gonna probably have 4 movies coming out. Hopefully it goes well. The art, the Viola Davis of it all, Idris Elba, Damson Idris, and people I can't even name because I don't want to spoil it. Maybe they already told them. The cast Ira star Thames was singing in it. Thames is singing in it. Like, I'm telling you, I saw a scene where Thames was like, I said, ooh. I think the Black diaspora is going to be so proud of the movie. I think the Black diaspora is going to be so excited for the movie. I think the Black diaspora, if we all have sense, will go and support the movie, because even if your qualms is the accents or your qualms is the story not being accurate, the qualms, just go and watch it, because we need more stories. Nobody says Doctor Strange is not real. Nobody says Iron Man is not real. Nobody says Captain Marvel is not real. And there's some civilization that they got, that Moana, fucking Moana. Like, we complain too much. People complain too much. Anyway, so that's what I was doing in LA. And then, what else was I talking about? NICOLANDRIA. I don't even know how we got there. My ADHD is so bad, isn't it? I got to Children of Blood and Bone because at this preview, some girl comes up to me. I don't know who she is. I feel like she might be an important person, so hopefully she doesn't watch this. But some girl comes up to me and she's like, "Oh my God, Sophie, you're going through it." Hey, who's going through it? And she said it in a way that it didn't fill me with confidence or care. It didn't make me feel good that she knew I was going through it. And I realized, oh, why does she think I'm going through it, that I'm suffering? And she was like, "Oh, I was just watching your episode or your vlog channel the other day. And I was just like, this girl is going through it. She's so sad." Who? And I think this is why people talk about don't let your enemies know what's going on with you. Because my enemy knows. And I was like, "Oh no, like I'm good." She was like, "Yeah, I see you out here doing your thing now. Like, I'm praying for you." Is it that serious? You're praying for me? Thank you, but I don't know if I want your prayer. It was the most uncomfortable thing I'd ever felt, because I generally didn't know how to respond to that. Like, thank you for praying for me, but also, I don't like how you're telling me this, because it feels like you're happy. I don't know if she was happy that I was going through it. And then I realized that I shared what I was going through. So I should invite conversations like that. But it didn't, like, you know what? She didn't come and say, "I want to help you. She just was like, "Aw." And that "aw" just made me feel very seen. So now I'm like, maybe I should just start moving in silence, guys. Because I don't know. I didn't like that feeling of like people knowing what I was going through. Because I know so many people who are going through the same shit as me, but y'all think their people are living their best life. And I'm like, maybe I need to get on their level, because y'all know too much. Oh, ew, that's not so LA. Anyways, that was where the Children of Blood and Bone divulsion came from. And then back to NICOLANDRIA. Anyways, they were at Coachella. She killed it with all the activations. Hopefully one day I'm working with Barbie. I also want to be swimsuits rookie of the year, guys. I'm praying it's going to happen soon. Let me see, what else do I have? Okay, random, but this is where I can talk about this thing. Do you guys know Alex Earl and Alex Cooper? If you don't know, Alex Earl is a TikToker creator. Honestly, one thing I love about Alex is I think she's been creating for about 7 years now and hustling. I don't think that girl is taking a day off. Whenever I talk about creators working hard, Alex Earl is one of the creators that I feel like is constantly working. She does not take any breaks. I want that discipline. But then I also talk about it from the sense of like, to be a white woman, maybe her least, maybe her mom does have cancer. I shouldn't be saying this. Okay. Am I too loud? Because I was about to say, like, she doesn't have problems, but like, her mom has cancer. I think like they've gone through chemotherapy, but they have money, and she grew up from an affluent family. Her dad did cheat on her mom, and it was a public thing. But like, besides the cancer thing, I think maybe, oh God, this is so bad, isn't it? I might not clip this part. Besides all of that, like, she's like, life is, I won't say her life is chill, because it's not fair to compare trauma, but it's not strong, it's not soft. Like, people like us, we almost got deported. We went to boarding school and they used to beat us. There's levels to this suffering and trauma, bro. We didn't even have fathers, bro. We didn't. Anyways, the point I'm trying to make is she's a hard worker. She's done Dancing with the Stars. She posts every day on TikTok. She's always editing. She's always partying. She has a fun life. And Alex Cooper is one of my favorite podcasters. I always feel some type of way, fun fact, about the fact that people oftentimes seem to enjoy being in their own bucket. Let me explain. I don't know what this says about me, except maybe I'm a people pleaser, but I thoroughly enjoy seeing outside of my bucket. And what I mean by that is my identity is oftentimes I'm a Black, African, Nigerian, queer, Muslim woman. And there are probably other buckets, but like that's who I am. I enjoy people like Emma Chamberlain, David Portnoy is crazy, Dave Portnoy, Alex Cooper, Trevor Noah, Zach Justice, I don't know if his last name is just another Zach who's a YouTuber, Kevin Lang. I watch a diverse group of creators because I think you learn more about the world from people who aren't like you. I might not support what they do. I might not support how they vote. Apparently Earl is a Trump supporter. But I would listen. And I think the shift in society is we've stopped engaging in conversation with people who think differently than us. Now, it is so valid to do that because sometimes the ways they think very differently from us can also be very damaging. So it's like, if you voted for Trump, that man is leading a war now in Iraq, killing people. He's leading a war in genocide in Palestine. Like, it is valid that you just can't respect these people and can't have conversation. But I'm also of the opinion that closed conversations mean no forward movement. So if I never knew anything that happened in the Alex Earl or Alex Cooper world, I wouldn't know that podcasting is $1 billion industry. I wouldn't know that there's more to the world than my silo as a Black creator. Do you know what I'm trying to say? Like, there's so much more. Like, as a creator now, I see a lot of creators, especially Black creators, always talk about burnout because our trauma, our existence is so real, it's exhausting. But then I see creators like Alex Earl who don't really have a lot of problems, besides a few things I talked about. And I'm like, if they can do it, I can do it too, and even better. And sometimes it's hard to explain that to people, but that's kind of how I move. Like, if people talk, like, guys, one of the things about me that I've been struggling with is I used to go to events where I would want to do so much content, collaborate with creators, especially Black creators, and they would oftentimes tell me, "Oh, Sophie's here, so oh, you're always working. Oh, Sophie wants a video," and those videos always did so well because it just showed community, and we didn't have that. But it's because in our bucket, oftentimes collaboration is a foreign concept. And I'll give you an example. If you look at Coachella content, now this is such a broad example. I don't know facts here. But if you look at Coachella content from the ones I consumed, a lot of the Black creators, Black streamers are all collaborating with each other. They might not even like each other, but they're going to collaborate. You're going to see them do videos together, do content together, do several things. And then when you see Black creators, there really isn't anything. Like, yeah, they might take selfies here and there, or they might take some video together. But most of the time, they probably take the video with their +1 who came with them, or with the creator that came with them. You don't see collaboration as well as you see from the white creators. And that is something in our community that we struggle with. I know, like, if I was at Coachella, I'm like, oh my God, let's all do content. Fucking Nella Rose, India, Marvella, Abba, Justin Camero, Amacheng, Blake Newby, Olandria. Like, imagine if there was a video where you saw all these creators doing transitions together, doing all these things. Like, the power those videos would have, but we don't have that. And I don't know why. I have a few reasons why I think it could be, but, you know, it's neither here or there. Anyways, the point is collaboration over anything. Alex Earl and Alex Cooper are fighting, and Alex Earl joined Unwell Network, which is Alex Cooper's network. Guys, I don't know if you know these people, but this is some white girl drama that I really love. Alex Cooper has the podcast Call Her Daddy, and she's an OG. She's part of Barstools. Also random, I want to be a part of Barstools. And I say that because I don't think there are any Black girls on Barstools, but then I also wonder what kind of emotional damage that will cost me. But also it will be a different audience. I don't know. I have very weird interests. That's why I'm the Odditty, for crying out loud. Anyways, Alex Cooper has Call Her Daddy, and she created the Unwell Network, signed Alex Earl. Then they, at some point, just did like stopped working together. And Alex Earl has been throwing shade at Alex Cooper. Come to find out, Alex Cooper decides to post a video, which she never does, and she's like, Alex Earl, at me next time, tell me exactly what your problem is with me. And then Alex Earl is like, okay, I'm on it. People are saying it's PR. Other people are saying like Alex Earl is gonna do a get ready with me, talking about her drama. I just think it's two powerful women fighting, and they would have never worked out because Alex Earl, I think, is a powerhouse in herself, and it's really hard to have two powerhouses working together. That's something I've learned about even the influencer industry. It's really hard to have two like alpha females, alpha creators collaborating with each other. It's just weird because there's always going to be a power imbalance anyways. Like, yeah, I think Alex Cooper is big, but I also think Alex Earl is big, so I didn't think that was going to end up working out in the long run. So that's some drama. I've been watching it on my TikTok. I need to stop scrolling. Okay, let me see what else. I feel like that's it from, I don't even know. I just wanted to chat with you guys today, and I went all over the place. Hopefully, like, you guys had fun in today's episode, because next week is going to be the part 2 with me and Ismatou. So you're going to enjoy some light conversation after the really deep one we had about FGM last week. But I'm just going to try to be doing the podcast wherever I can. I think I'm enjoying the solo episodes because I feel like I'm still getting into the zone of doing my own thing and having my own opinions and just enjoying AITL as it is. And I feel like once I get into a space where I have a studio, I think I'm going to start getting guests on the podcast. I tried to do the thing where I was going to do Zoom with guests. I'm not sure if it's going to be possible right now. Guys, I'm still a solo machine. I'm still the one filming this, producing this, editing this, writing this, everything. So bear with me. And if you're a part of the pod fam, I love you guys so much. We've been killing it so far. Like, it's slow and steady over here, but I feel like we're on the right path. I'm also meeting with Spotify this week, which I'm really excited for. I don't know where that would go, but you know, your girl has hopes and dreams. So we'll see. Okay, I gotta go actually see my niece and nephew now. I love you guys so much. I'm recording this on Tuesday and I'm posting this tomorrow, Wednesday. So this edit is going to be really quick, and hopefully you guys enjoy this episode. And hopefully I didn't forget anything. I'm looking at my iPad. I think that's all. Oh my God, I almost choked on something. What the heck was that sound? I love you guys so much. I'll see you in the next podcast episode. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Give us a 5-star wherever you listen to the podcast. Let me know even where you're listening from as well. And if you ever want to send me anything, I'll let you know where you send that to. Ooh, okay. I love you guys. Bye for now.